holding the left side of his head. Mary Beth had held his hand on the drive over to the hospital because she had spent too much time in the LWC bathroom cleaning Mitch's bike, and Cliff wished she was still holding it.
Petey, you better try to call your wife again, or she'll think you're in the corner drinking.
It's not fair. Leave a message and have her call the hospital. They'll page you.
I'll try, but Barbara will never believe this.
Why not?
Well, I mean, it's a quiet, rainy Tuesday in New Orleans, 2 weeks into Lent. The city's quieting down. There isn't a parade till St. Patrick's Day. There's nothing terribly exciting going on. You get us invited to a meeting of some small press group. Sounds good. By the way, Cliff, how do you know them?
You'll never believe this. I met Robert Janowski at Jewish singles dance that my mother made me go to at the Mandeville Country Club. I thought it would be a good place for me to meet some nice single women. God, how do I get involved in these things?
A singles dance at the Mandeville Country Club that your mother suggested? Oh, did you meet any nice Jewish girls?
No, I met Janowski instead. God, where is that nurse? My head is killing me. Go on, Peter.
So we go to this address, an old antebellum mansion near Lee Circle. Waiting there is a collection of publishers. One guy says he's also a street performer, a member of the Ashes of Vulcan, and that his group performs regularly in Jackson Square and sometimes in cemeteries. Then there's Dr. Kingfisher with his publication, Hey Fool, not to mention the Andy Warhol clone from Bumby, the only art magazine in New Orleans worth looking at, and his little red-headed sidekick who I took to Pokey. Then those pretentious guys from Maple Circle, with the publisher who kept doing impressions of some guy named Jaime the Mexican Shirt.
This is hilarious. Nah, the best one was the Unreasonable Nightmares guy. What a fucking asshole. Thank God we don't work with them. Cliff, that was the oddest collection of people. Much better than this year's mine.
Ladies, if tomorrow we're going to parade ourselves down to New Orleans Parish Courthouse and we're filing charges against that drunk lunatic. I want to see all of you down there at 8:30 sharp. Now, finish your story, Petey.
You think Barbara's going to believe that Mitch got bitten by a philosopher, that the same philosopher knocked your glasses off, punched your head, and called you a faggot?
Probably not. By the way, where is Mason?
He's claiming a pickup man, twisted guys, and if GF doesn't post an LG, it's kind of a party.
The Twisted Guys, I think something like the respective partners that Berkeley boy jazz band you've been practically living with the past 2 weeks.
Nah, the Twisted Guys wear these large hats shaped like penises, and at the climax of the show, they squirt shaving cream on it.
Great, nice to have. A collection of twisted guys and a girl from Wyoming who's waiting for some Irish Indian to call her.
He did call him.
Reed found out.
He dropped the receiver and take it off. They could hear Barbara on the other end.
And now I suppose you're going to tell me that you're breaking chairs over each other's heads. I know you're at a bar, Reginald Paul Peters. Get in your Toyota and drive home this instant.
But Bob, the phone truck, honest. Mary Beth was telling us that Reed Fallon called her. Yeah, that handsome guy in the absinthe house that night. Look, Sugar Plum, I'm going to stay here with Mitch and Cliff. Oh, Mary Beth's fine. She and I stayed in the parlor. I was protecting her. I didn't want her to see the fight. Yeah, honey, I'll be home later. Can you just go on up to bed? I love you too.
She chew you up?
Oh yeah, she thinks we're all down at the absinthe drinking.
Maybe we should go there after we get out of here. They want me not to send us on contributions this year.
How are we going to make it to court by 8:30?
Stay at the barn until 6, and then we'll go to breakfast, or we can all stay at Mary Beth's. Really give our neighbors something to talk about. You have any sleeping bags, pull-out lunches, food crumbs? How many live your apartment sleep?
Well, if you get out of bed, I'll never tell. And one of you get out of the couch, and I'll take the floor.
Smither would be raging if he misses this, the sleepover at Mary Beth Martin's.
Oh, your wife. Well, maybe we should go for a drink after this, no matter where we stay. I know I'll need one. What the hell are the doctors here?
That's your arm.
It hurts. Motherfucking bastard. Wish I'd thrown him down those stairs. Fucking idiot. And all those jerks just standing there with their mouths open watching. God forbid they should have gotten involved. I hate people like that. They're trouble. They can't stand up for shit. They're full of shit, the little bourgeois fuckers.
A young nurse came in and called Mitch's name before he got more abusive. He stood and followed her. Cliff had disappeared also, so now only Petey and Mary Beth were left in the emergency room.
This Barbara really behaved.
Yeah, she's getting nervous. Did I give you my new home number? Barbara got an obscene phone call and had our number changed. I was at work and she didn't bother to call and let me know what was going on, so I called the house just to see what she was doing, and the operator came on and informs me that my number had been changed and unlisted. Pregnancy. Quite a little shock.
Mary Beth smiled. She vaguely remembered her one pregnancy, and tonight she didn't want to remember. The sound of Reed Fallon's voice came back to her, and she felt somewhat removed from the evening's violent events.
Have you ever been to court?
No, have you?
Yes.
When you were divorced?
Yeah, but I suspect tomorrow will be different. Think we'll accomplish anything there?
I don't know. You did get clipped and you did bite Mitch.
What about the story? What can we say about the LWC New Orleans chapter?
That they drink.
Everybody drinks here.
Both laughed as Mary Beth took a pack of gum from her large black leather bag. She offered a piece to Petey. He accepted. The waiting room was almost empty except for a woman in the corner and a teenage girl sitting by the payphone. Mary Beth looked at her Cinderella watch. It was almost 10:30. They'd been at the Truro Infirmary for an hour and a half. The TV was talking above them. It was an old movie, one she had seen before, so she didn't miss any of the storyline watching the two women. Instead, the younger was obviously waiting for the phone to ring. The other woman, who was Mary Beth's age or a little older, was probably waiting for a patient. From time to time, she would fan herself with a Times-Picayune, and then shift her large breasts around in the elasticized tube top of her red dress. After performing this trip, she would look over at Petey and wink or scowl if she caught Mary Beth's gaze. Though Mary Beth was embarrassed and pretended not to notice, even when it was obvious that Petey was enjoying himself in this seemingly harmless charade. Once, he and Mary Beth were sent to do an interview in the Elysian Fields. They had taken the bus. At one point during the ride, he had jabbed her in the side, exclaiming,
Did you see those tits?
No.
Petey had looked bashfully at her, confessing.
Well, I had to tell someone, and I can't tell Bob or she'll kill me.
Another time, she, Cliff, and Petey were having lunch on the patio at Pat O'Brien's. Another well-endowed female specimen appeared. This time, Petey had Cliff to ogle with. They put on their sunglasses, even though it was quite overcast, and watched. But the specimen was clearly ignoring them, and even asked the waiter to change her table. Nothing like this woman in the waiting room. Shen and Petey were obviously enjoying themselves until her man arrived, his left arm in a sling. Then she laughed, but not before turning around to wink at Petey.
That guy was scary.
Nah, he got his arm in a sling.
Not him, the person at the publisher's meeting, John Jones. Did you get any information on him?
Well, someone said he has a PhD from Harvard and had been in the philosophy department at Loyola for 3 years.
Did he have a magazine?
Nah, his ex-fiancée does.
What was their story?
Well, from what I gather, he found out a few weeks ago that he didn't get tenure. She broke off the engagement at the same time and moved out. He has a drinking problem.
What was he doing there?
I don't know. I think someone, the guy with the shaved head, shaved and tattooed head, he had a waxed mustache also. Dr. Kingfisher said that Jones used to help on his ex-fiancee's magazine, and no one ever asked him not to come. So there he was.
Here we are.
5 hours ago, she had answered the phone, and the smooth voice from mcentyre via Wyoming had made her feel hopeful. Now, in the present tense, she wasn't too sure she could still feel that initial pleasurable surge of nervousness. Her heart was beating very quickly, and her hands were becoming very cold. The small press publishers' meeting had changed the hope to terror. A man gets drunk, comes to the place where he knows his ex-fiancée will be, and in his bitterness uses her as a scapegoat for his anger. Mary Beth knew bitterness, and Reed Fallon's golden voice could not erase the picture of Thompson's fidelity. She had wanted to rip his heart from his chest and feed it to that naked woman on whom he was riding. It was wrong that he had done it, but the greater sin was that she was a witness. She didn't want to bother with him after they split up, even on their day in court, and he had come all the way from East Texas to see her one last time, in the hope that she would forgive him and go home to Lockhart and leave the foolishness of the newspaper behind. In court, she didn't even talk to him. Her lawyer talked to his, and she sat with her parents who were there to ease her loneliness. She fidgeted in her chair and was glad when Mitch appeared. She could once again clear her head.
What'd they say?
Well, Liv, they had to irrigate the bike. He's got more to worry about. He bit me. I have to take the antibiotics and come back in a couple of weeks.
There should be one last line on it that says, the narrator should say, he sat down